TGI Friday, everybody. I'm Jason Laird from the Storm Tracker Weather Center here with a quick afternoon weather update. High pressure remains the big story, planted over top of the state. Beautiful conditions, nice warm weather. It's going to take us up through the weekend. We're tracking some winds, though, and a little shower or two as we move into the weekend. We'll break that down shortly. But again, the big concern right now remains flooding along the High Line. We still have a ton of advisories, ton of warnings, watches throughout. The advisory starting to shrink up a little bit. Those are going to be the areas in dark green. Pend Oreille County up near Cut Bank still has some flood advisories. So again, when we say those flood advisories, those are going to be areas that are likely going to see some flooding over the next few hours and have that potential. The kind of neon green that we're seeing right there, those are still flood warnings. But when they say that they are an aerial flood warning, what that means is it's all encompassing. All the creeks and streams, all the rivers in these areas are likely to see flooding, or they currently are experiencing flooding. As we move a little bit further off to the east, that's when we, grabbed the wrong clicker here. That's when we start to see the more isolated flood warnings. These are going to break down specific areas, creeks, streams, rivers, that sort of thing. So just kind of keep that in mind. Those are the big differences between all the different flood warnings that we've got going on. Temperatures tonight staying pretty mild, mid-30s across the High Line, 39 in Great Falls, 38 here in Helena, looking at 37 in Lewistown and mid-30s throughout the Eastern Plains as well. Tomorrow for your Saturday, warming up to the 60s across the board. 63 in Havre, 54 in Cut Bank, 67 toasty degrees here in Great Falls, 67 in Helena as well. Pushing the 70s. The further southeast we go, Billings, look at that, 70 degrees. So absolutely beautiful conditions. One of the things kind of contributing to these warmer temperatures are going to be the winds moving over top of the mountains. I'll show you why these winds are going to kick up here shortly. But Saturday afternoon is when we're going to see the greatest chance for winds up and down the Rocky Mountain front. I-15 looking at 40 to 50 mile an hour gusts near Cut Bank. We do have a couple warnings, watches in place for that. So again, up in this region, we do have a high wind watch in effect for Cut Bank extending just north of Great Falls. As those warnings kind of get revised and changed, we'll keep you up to date. About 30 to 40 mile an hour winds here in Great Falls. Those winds are going to start to shift a little bit further east following that cold front, kicking up to about 20 to 30 in Havre, 10 to 20 in Lewistown, Glasgow, about 10 to 20 as well, and then dying down pretty rapidly Saturday night into Sunday. Now, we were also talking about on top of the wind tracking, kind of a weak little cold front. Following that cold front, we could see a little wraparound moisture moving up through the state. The main area that's going to see moisture is going to be the southwestern mountain ranges. So here's how that's going to play out over the next few hours. So again, as we take you into your Saturday, I always like to point out the pressure gradient right here. See these little lines really tight to each other like that? That's called a tightening pressure gradient. That's our indicator that winds are going to kick up into Saturday. Now notice all the precipitation gets hung up on the mountains. We're not really seeing much there. However, as we start to move into Sunday afternoon, that's when we're going to get a little bit better chance of a moisture flow moving in off of the Pacific here. See this little dip? Little area of low pressure, that's going to pull a little chance of moisture throughout the area. Could see some periods of a little bit heavier rain. We'll track that system a little bit closer. But again, Sunday night into Monday is our next chance for precipitation. Have yourself a wonderful Friday. We'll see you on the news 5:30 and 10 o'clock right here.